Hi folks, there are many gems in the Poconos. Lake Wallenpaupack is considered one of the gems of the Poconos, but we've got so many historical sites. We visit the Jacobsburg Historical Society right now when we go out in the open. Out in the Open is brought to you by Lighthouse Harbor Marina on Lake Wallenpaupack, Archery Addictions in Walnutport, and Erdl Subaru in Stroudsburg.
For sport, social activities, and serious competition, Archery Addictions is on target. If you're experienced or just learning, Archery Addictions is the destination for you. Proudly the largest complex in the U.S., plus open 7 days a week, all right in your backyard. Improve your aim on one of the comprehensive indoor, outdoor, 3D, or virtual ranges. Relax by the fire, visit the pro shop, and don't miss Archery Addictions events. Learn or get serious with lessons from the pros and get addicted at Archery Addictions in Walnutport.
At Erdl Subaru, you'll love the Subaru Share the Love event now through January 2nd. Buy or lease a 2016 Subaru from Erdl Subaru, and Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of these charities, plus a matching donation from Erdl Subaru when you choose this year's local charity, the United Way of Monroe County. Holiday season is the perfect time to share the love with those in need. Erdl Subaru, you'll love us. It's our promise to you. Visit erdlcars.com.
Hey folks, welcome to this edition of Out in the Open. I'm Alex JoAnne.
And I'm JoAnne Zidock, and we're coming to you from Jacobsburg at the Rendezvous. A rendezvous.
Wonderful place. We got a great show for you, so you'll want to stay tuned and see what you may have missed. Anyway, you know, JoAnne, walking around, I saw a lot of walnut trees.
I know.
And, you know, people drive by, like you drive all over the Poconos, drive everywhere, and you see the trees and you see these things hanging on them. Normally, they look like apples,
They
all
look like
green.
apples, yeah.
And actually, this is a walnut, and inside here is an American walnut. And they used to use these for, I mean, now people just, there must be people that pick them. I remember as a kid, we used to go out and get bushels of them, and you smash them open. And for maybe weeks, months afterward, because of the dye that's in here, your hands would turn brown and you couldn't get the stain off. You know, we'd smash them with a hammer on a curbstone.
Right. Yes.
I'm giving away my age. But anyway, we would get maybe a cup or a cup and a half of walnut out of that.
Wow.
And my mom would maybe make a small cake, you know, you make just a yellow cake and put the walnuts in or something like that. And they are really, really very good. But, you know, one of those products that, unless you know what it is, kind of goes to waste, you know.
Wow.
They fall down and
I never see why
they're half the size.
We didn't have that. I never knew
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
I guess you didn't have rubber gloves in those days to keep your hands clean, huh?
No, you didn't. You know, it was only doctors and surgeons, I guess, you know. Well, you know, the archery season is just about history, and the bear season coming up, and then the deer season. And, you know, up here in 3D area, JoAnne, this is the first year that we can't shoot a doe, an antlerless deer, during the first week of the deer season. So, you know, there are a lot of changes happening with the deer seasons all over the state. So make sure you check the rules and regs. Get it all right, because you want to be out there and do things right, right?
Absolutely. And the most important thing is you get your deer, but you have to do it right.
Absolutely. Hey, we are, as you can see, out in the open, so don't go away. We will be right back. Hey folks, we are at the Jacobsburg Historical Society Rendezvous, and with us is Dave Eric, and he is the site coordinator for the Jacobsburg Society, a place we call Bolton. We are on that property, very historic, where Henry first started making rifles, and boy, if you're interested in the outdoors, rifle making, this is a place you've got to come to. And Dave, this is kind of like a culmination of a whole year of being open and doing things. Unfortunately, we have to wait till the spring to come back, but wow, this is exciting, and we'll get people to come next year to this thing. How did this all come about? I mean, this rendezvous looks fantastic to me.
The Henry family of gun makers made guns for a lot of different government agencies, even foreign countries, but the one that stands out is the contract with John Jacob Astor. He's the one, of course, the Astoria Hotel was named after, but his fame started out in Wyoming, and with the first rendezvous in Wyoming. And Astor would take the Henry rifles with him and trade with the Indians as well as the mountain men to get furs and get quite wealthy over it. But thousands and thousands of rifles that were built on these grounds, one at a time, they are muzzleloaders, were sent out with Astor to sell off to the western states.
JoAnne, next time we go to Wyoming, we got to look for a Henry. We might be able to find one out there.
You know, we might be able to find a lot of them, actually.
I don't think so. I guess they turn up now and then, don't they?
The Museum of the Fur Trade has hundreds of them. So I have a good feeling, like JoAnne, you'll be lucky.
So we'll try to find a Henry when we go out there and bring a little bit of that back to Pennsylvania. So Dave, tell me exactly what we're going to see here.
You're going to get a taste of the late 18th and early 19th centuries. And that's everything from the way we dress to the way we cook to the way we entertain ourselves.
So that's really great. We got a great, how much property we have we're going to walk around?
You're standing on about a 40-acre campus, but including the state side and our side, plus the 1,400 acres of state forest, there's a lot of room to grow.
All right, let's take a little walk around and show you what you can find here at this site if you come in the spring. And we've got a couple other things that's going on in the winter. I know we're building some rifles and things here, but they can go on the website and get a lot more information, can't they? What's the website? Let's put it up right now.
www.jacobsburghistory, JACOBSBURGHISTORY, one word, .com.
All right, so you can go there and find out information, but I think we ought to take a walk around and show you what we found.
Hi, I'm Amy Goulart. I'm one of the members here at Jacobsburg Historical Society, and my husband Larry and I camp here at the Market Fair and Rendezvous every year. A lot of times we go camping with our whole family. My son is here. My grandchildren will be here tomorrow. This is our camp. It's considered, I guess, a fur trade era camp. My husband actually does all the cooking for us. We have a really nice camp setup. He likes using a lot of the iron cookware, and we're all natural and organic people, so we fit right in for this time period with all the fresh fruits and vegetables and meats of the season.
Our rendezvous is held the last full weekend of October each year. It's the last rendezvous in the state of Pennsylvania, and because of that, we have a lot of living history people coming from all the sites all over this great state. And one of the reasons they come here is because they like to take in the flavor of the rendezvous, and by that I mean the dresses, the pants, the pack baskets, the food prepared over the wood fire, the iron tools, the knives, the swords, the guns, the tomahawks, the lanterns, and on and on. It's just a great place to shop and put things in your colonial home.
My name is Frank Willis, and I'm in charge of the craft program here at Jacobsburg. And this is our Early American Craft Center. And this is where we teach people to come and make a flintlock rifle, to do leather work, make a leather hunting bag, make an Early American powder horn. These were all crafts that were used during the colonial period up through the Civil War. And we kind of keep the old crafts alive. What you see here is we're molding bullet bags, and this is the mold we use. We start with a piece of leather like this, and then it's wet and put in a mold and clamped, and we have a bullet bag, and then the two halves will be sewn together, and this will be one that's almost finished. Here's an example of a finished bag. On the table over here are flintlock rifles. One of the fellows that took our flintlock course has kept with it, and he's made some beautiful rifles. In the center table here, you see all things. These were all made by our students and our instructors. We have a fella and a lady over there doing leather work. On the other side of the room, we have two fellas that are pouring pewter. They're making tin soldiers and pewter spoons. We have a fella over here doing horn work. He's making a powder horn. And we have a young fella here that's doing carving. He carves all kinds of animals and birds and figures and so forth. It's old and it's collapsed in, but this has a mechanical.
I don't know, this looks like a kind of fancy house for this period we're talking about, Dave. How did this come about?
Marriage. John Joseph Henry had married a beautiful woman from Philadelphia who lived in a very fine Philadelphia row house. And when he brought her up here to Northampton County, this was the frontier in 1830, and he put her in the log cabin, which we'll see later, called the Pennsylvania Long Rifle Museum, and said, "This is your home." And her reaction was much like JoAnne's. Right. If you want me to live on the frontier, I need a home like I left in Philadelphia. Hence, we have the 1832 Federal-style Philadelphia row house, the John Joseph Henry House.
Would you do that, JoAnne?
No.
We ought to take a look inside.
It's spectacular. Refrigeration was a problem in the 1830s. There was no electricity. There certainly was no refrigerator or freezer, but there was spring water, and spring water is cold. It's about 50 degrees, and it stays at that temperature year-round. And the Henrys made use of it by catching trout on the Bushkill Creek down by the gun factory, bring those trout up here while they're still alive, putting them into the spring-fed pond, and hence you had refrigerated trout until you were ready to cook it on the stove.
Nice shot.
Alex, this is the smallest, but probably one of the most important buildings on our property, the 250-year-old Nicholas Hawk Log Cabin Gun Shop. It built rifles back in the mid-18th century. It's still building rifles here in the 21st century.
Little subtle differences. So if you look at that one up there, that one's north. No, if you really want to do the thorough cleaning, it's really much different.
Well, folks, you've seen the Jacobsburg Historical Society Bolton location, and wow, fantastic, Dave. We've had a great time.
Alex, it was so wonderful having you and JoAnne here, and you only saw half of what we have. But next year, you have to come back because I need to show you the rest of it.
Well, you know, I think in the springtime, since, you know, the building is closing down now, right? The museum and other areas until the spring. Is that right?
That's correct. We'll be opening up the 1st of May, and we'll have both museums open, but we won't have the Rendezvous. You have to wait till the last full weekend in October.
But you know, if people want to come out and kind of check out the museum and some of the other things that are here, they could still do that in May when you open. And I think what we're going to do